Welcome back to Chapter 19, Part 2, the intestines and digestive system. When I left you, we were talking about the small intestine and how the small intestine is called small because it has the smallest diameter, and the large intestine is called large because it has the largest diameter. The large intestine in humans goes up, so it's called ascending, across, which is transcending, down, and then you have the sphygmomatoid colon, which is the curvy one, and then you have the rectum. Rectum, like a rectangle, means straight, so you have the straight bit. Then you have the anal sphincter, which keeps it all in. Okay? Now, when we look at the small intestine, one of the features of the small intestine is these amazing villi, these folding. The inside lining folds and folds and folds, and then the cells themselves, these columnar cells, have microvilli to yet add more folds. All this folding helps increase the surface area, therefore increasing the amount of absorption or amount of absorption area, allowing for greater absorption, basically. Okay? Now, when you look at one of these fingers, inside of them, so here's all these epithelial tissues. So one of these columnar epithelial tissues are here, but each one of these finger-like projections, these villus, has a very good blood supply coming in. You have the capillary coming in, the vein going out, and then you have this green line. This green line is a finger of the lymph node called the lacteal. Once the fat is digested into smaller fat droplets, it will be absorbed as fat through the lacteal. Then the lacteal goes into the lymph and then eventually dumps into the circulatory system later on. Okay? Very important, increased surface area and very good blood supply, excellent blood supply here, and that is in the villi, small intestine. Very important for increasing the surface area. Now, the other parts of the small intestine, again, all for surface area. A lot of the initial digestion happens in the small intestine when the pancreatic juices and the bile from the liver come in, but we'll talk about that a little later on when we talk about enzymes. When you get to the large intestine is also called the colon. Just as they join, you have what's called the ileocecal valve, and that helps keep the guts stuff separate. And here is where the appendix is. Notice this is on the right side, so if you have a sharp pain on the left side, it's not your appendix. It's the right side that has the appendix. When you get to the large intestine, the function of the large intestine, first off, is to secrete mucus, but the main absorption in this area is water. Water is absorbed here. That's why if you have diarrhea, it goes through too quickly and you get thirsty, you get a little dehydrated. So it's important you drink your water and poop regularly, but not with the splat diarrhea version. Okay, there is also a colony of bacteria in your intestine to help keep your intestine healthy and help keep your body healthy. This is the natural flora that you want to actually populate, and that's why you have your prebiotic and postbiotic yogurts. And you want to keep them healthy by having a lot of fiber, which scrubs out the bad stuff, and also only take antibiotics when needed. Then the poop is stored in the sigmoid colon, the feces, sigmoid colon and the rectum. If it's not pooped out, notice that poop is waste. If you keep waste in your large intestine, it is not good for it, and some of those toxins will get reabsorbed or will get absorbed into the blood stream. Okay, we are now going to look at accessory organs. First, accessory organs. So the accessory organs, they release secretions through ducts to the digestive system. You have the mouth, the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas. We talked briefly about the mouth. In the mouth, you have your salivary glands. Your salivary glands will release saliva and salivary amylase into the mouth to start the breaking down of your starches. Then below you have your, where is that picture? One moment. You have your liver and you have your pancreas. There you go. The liver is a very large organ that is sort of on top of the stomach, and then you have your pancreas, which is the bubbly one behind your stomach. We also have your spleen, which looks digestive, but it's a lymph organ. It helps filter the blood. Okay, so when you are looking at this, the pancreas, first off, we're looking at the liver. The liver has many, many functions. And this is where the hepatic artery comes. So all the blood that's connected, sorry, not hepatic artery, hepatic portal vein, all the blood that is connected to the digestive system. The digestive system, let me get back to my picture here. The digestive system will absorb all the nutrients, and then all that blood that's collected goes through up to the hepatic portal vein to the liver, and it's in the liver where it is filtered out. Now, the liver has many, many functions. I'm only going to mention them now, and we're going to look at a few of them because this is all about digestion. When it comes to liver, it is where bile is manufactured. Bile is very important because bile will then be released into the duodenum, the small intestine, to break down large fat droplets into small fat droplets. It's an emulsifier. The liver is also where once there's too much insulin released, the glucose will be stored as glycogen. So glycogen is stored in the liver. When your glucose level is low in your blood, your glycogen will then be broken down by glucagon. The liver helps modify fats. It stores vitamins. It stores iron. It forms blood proteins. It destroys red blood cells. It synthesizes urea, which is a waste product we'll talk about in the urinary system. But it also detoxifies harmful substance. So this is a wonderful reason to put all the blood that has just been collected to the digestive system through the liver. Now, bile is the digestive one that we're talking about. Bile is stored in the gallbladder, and it goes from the liver to the gallbladder via the cystic duct. And you'll find a lot of things with cystic in it are gallbladder words. So the cystic duct, here is the gallbladder tucked underneath the liver, and the cystic duct will come out. It will then join the common bile duct, and the pancreas will, here's the pancreas here. The pancreas will then put its pancreatic juice into the bile duct and dump it into the duodenum. Pancreas. Gallbladder. Okay. The pancreas releases sodium bicarbonate, which is used in changing the pH of the chyme, which is the fluid from the stomach, and neutralizing it, making it slightly more basic. Then also you have pancreatic amylase, which breaks down carbohydrates, and pancreatic amylase is the carbohydrates broken down by the enzymes coming from the pancreas. You also have lipase, which breaks down fat into glycerol and 3 fatty acids. And then you have a chemical called trypsinogen. Trypsinogen is a inactive form, which can be converted into trypsin, and trypsin will then break down your protein. So the pancreas produces enzymes to break down proteins, which is trypsin, lipids, which is lipase, and amylase, which will break down carbohydrates. Now, the way things are broken down is by the process of hydrolysis. So this is a disaccharide, or a sugar molecule. Each one of these, or a complex sugar molecule. Each one of these weird shapes, hexagons, is a glucose molecule or a monosaccharide. What water does is water comes in with the enzymes and it breaks this bond, and it will put an OH on one sticky end and an H on the other. Very important, because the process of hydrolysis will break apart those complex molecules, making them simpler. And the simpler they are, the easier they are to digest. So it is the digesting, the hydrolyzing of these complex molecules that make them simple enough to be digested. So let's look at digestion step by step. We talked about the mouth. Chews the food, releases salivary amylase, which breaks down some starch. Then in the stomach will secrete hydrochloric acid. It also secretes mucus. Now the mucus is to protect the stomach from getting eaten up by the hydrochloric acid. It also secretes an inactive enzyme called pepsinogen. Pepsinogen will be broken down by hydrochloric acid, making pepsin. Pepsin breaks proteins into peptides. A lot of P words there. I like that. Pepsin, protein, peptide. And then eventually trypsin comes along and breaks it right down into amino acids. Okay? The stomach is important. This whole mixture is called chyme. The stomach itself is protected by being digested, since muscles are proteins, by the fact that it secretes mucus, which adds a slimy layer, and it also releases the enzymes in the inactive form. Notice, only protein gets digested in the stomach. So when you're digesting in your stomach, you're not. You're actually digesting in your small intestine, but that doesn't sound as cool. When you look into your small intestine, you've got your pancreatic enzymes. You have emulsifying of fat coming from the bile. We'll look at those in a little later. Somewhere is the enzymes. The enzymes are in a table in your textbook. I'll have to call that up in a moment. Just a second. Okay, let's look at table 19.1 on page 441. This is a summary of the digestive enzymes I want you to look at. The small intestine will has secretions from the pancreas and the liver. And on the next page, you will see the you have sodium bicarbonate, which is hydrogen carbonate, amylase, which breaks down carbohydrates, trypsin breaks down proteins, actually polypeptides to amino acids, and lipase will break down lipids, the glycerol to fatty acids. You also have nucleases and bile coming out of the liver. The bile emulsifies fat. It just makes it fat smaller. Notice these enzymes are important. Very good summary table here and very good summary table there that helps you go through all the function of digestion. Good. Large intestine has limited digestion, but the large intestine is important for vitamin absorption and also for water absorption. Okay. Now, when it comes to absorbing, let's look at what gets absorbed. The microvilli will have an arteriole and a venule in it. They will absorb the capillaries in the villi will absorb simple sugars, small proteins, amino acids, simple fatty acids, and water. They transport from the portal system right to the liver. Then the absorption of fat happens in the lacteal. And also vitamins and minerals are absorbed. Some are incorporated into fat and some are not. Some are water soluble. Large bacterial action in the large intestine. Let's look quickly at nervous control. Nervous control, parasympathetic increases, sympathetic decreases. There are some hormones, gastrin inhibitory, secretin, and cholecystokinin. These are outlined in the textbook because I'm running out of room here. Gastrin, here they go. So gastrin is stimulated by the release of gastric juices, and the rest are there. Please know that. I just want to make sure. And that's pretty much it for the digestive system. There are some disorders, but I just need you to know that they are the same ones for this